Now moving on to our next session, which is going to be some guidance for everyone. It's as we look to our own futures in this field, we need strategic direction on how to scale our academic interests into international professions. Our next speaker is the absolute authority on educational guidance in the region. She is the founder and direction of Counselling Point Training and Development, the UAE's first KHDA-recognized center for educational advising, with over 30 years of experience counseling across major institutions, writing for Gulf News, and partnering with major forums like GetX. So we would like to honor the respected Miss Rema Menon Vellat, who will be speaking on her session, The Neuroscience Roadmap, Translating Your Passion into a Global Profession.
Hi, everybody. First of all, let me record my grateful thanks to Zara and team. You've done a commendable job. I've been listening to you. Every one of your presenters was so lucid, so articulate, and explain everything so well. I was the one who said I'm gobsmacked with the very first session, which was your keynote address, because there's so much going on and we are so away from all of it, right? So first of all, congratulations to the whole team for pulling this off. I know you did not have enough support from the press. I know that there were some hiccups, but all together, I've been listening to all of you right from the very start. I think you've done a great job. So first, I begin with that. Okay, now, Zara, can you help me with the presentation?
Sure. Okay, so if the share screen button doesn't work, I think I can open it up here.
Could you do that?
Yes, we'll do that just now. One moment. Okay, I think it's just taking some time to load.
Okay, while it's being loaded, let me tell you that today's focus has been medicine, right? Everyone has been talking about neuroscience through the medical field. There is also the other end of the spectrum where if you cannot go into medicine, there are other ways of getting into research and getting into the field, and that's what I'm going to focus on. And can you access it?
Share.
Yes, it's just loading. It's almost there. It says 85%. It's just, on the slideshow.
So,
Okay, perfect. It's loaded. I will now begin the sharing.
Thank you.
Okay, and just tell me when to go to the next slide. Thank you, Miss.
Yeah.
Please take it away.
Next one. Next one.
Next one.
I begin with a small definition. I know all of you who have come here and who are listening to this know what we are talking about. But still, since we are addressing not just specialists, but also students, some of whom are still in schools, I'm talking about the definition. I'm just laying it out there so that you understand that you don't have to be a doctor. Yes, you have to be a doctor if you want to prescribe things and get into surgery in neuroscience. But if you want to be a researcher and get into the field because you feel passionate about it, there are other ways of going about it. And that's what my focus is going to be. Next slide, please, Zara. So as a roadmap, now most of the students who presented today are really up to speed. They know what they're talking about. You've done research, some of you may be doing extended essays if you are in the IB curriculum or if you're in the British curriculum, you too have opportunities to make your own research project. But many times, students who are in a CBSE or ICSE system don't have that liberty. We in the UAE have a lot of Indian students. We have 16 different curricula. And as a general roadmap, I would like to emphasize that it's really important that you select the right subjects for whatever it is that you wish to study. The reason I say this is because right now I'm dealing with a student who has, luckily for him, he has got into Waterloo in Canada. He wanted to do applied mathematics. His third subject for A levels was ICT. And in places like University of Alberta, they did not see it as a strong subject. So we really need to do a little bit of homework when we make subject selections. Next, I want all of you to get involved with activities, have an opportunity to take up summer programs, take up doctor shadowing, go and participate in things that will give you a better understanding of yourself. It's not just about getting into a great school, it's also about learning more about yourself. Only when you have that awareness about your own capability that can you get into the right courses. So we need to understand the prerequisites. We need to make a short list and be better able to decide and decipher what would be a good match for us. The next slide,
Sorry,
please.
let me just reshare again. It just went off.
Zara.
Sorry, just resharing. It just went off for some reason.
Okay, just to keep talking. Last year, I had a student who did not get an opportunity here to shadow a doctor. So we sent her to a hospital in India, and she had the opportunity to shadow different specialists. Initially, the parents were very diffident about sending her all alone to to India. But when she came back, her whole desire to pursue medicine had really tremendously and got enhanced because she was so motivated and inspired by each of the specialists that she worked with. So I feel that when you are getting into this something which is calls for commitment for the next several years, you need to be really dedicated and really want to do it, not because your parents want it, not because it is very glamorous or very sought after, but because you really want to do it for yourself. Okay, next slide, please. So these are some of the subjects that you need to take up from grades 9 and 10. Okay, all of you know the way it works in UK is through UCAS, and you need to have English proficiency because most of the time, if you're international students, unless they have waived that requirement, you need your IELTS academic, you need a good academic record and sufficient funds. You have to be able to show 1 year's tuition fee in your account, in your parents' account for a whole 1 month period. For universities in the US, you have a common app or a unified app through which you can apply to multiple universities. Canada in Ontario province uses the OUAC, which is something like the UCAS, but it is restricted to only the Ontario schools. There are also similar combined applications for British Council. I'm sorry, I'm saying British Council, British Columbia. Okay, so you need to do all of this research well in advance. I recommend students get into all of this right from ninth grade, not suddenly in 11th grade or 12th grade, suddenly come up and say, I need to do this. Because this is a journey which starts right from high school, which is ninth grade. Next one, please. So I'm not an agent to any of these universities. I'm just putting out some names of universities that have good programs which you can look at. You can also sign up for their newsletters to keep abreast with what is happening in the kind of research work that is being conducted, because it's really important for you. So Cal Newport, he's a researcher and a professor from New York University. He says that if you are engaged and involved with something for over a period of time, you will then become passionate about it. Now, we bandy about this word called passion. It's not every person at 16 and 15 knows what their passion is all about. But if you are interested in something, invest time and energy in learning more about it, over a period of time, passion can be cultivated. Okay, so I would like you to look at different options. A lot of students now, because of the geopolitical situation the way it is, people are looking at studying here in the UAE. We have 6 medical colleges. Aside from that, people are going to Europe. We have people going to Czechoslovakia. We have people going to Georgia. We have people going to Italy. So it's not just concentrated in UK. Yes, you have studied in a British curriculum school, but it's very, very difficult to crack that UK admissions. So you have to have plan A, B, and C. Okay, so, and for, like they rightly said, when you have experiences, when you have those mini interviews, you'll be able to correlate the questions to your own personal experience. So you'll be able to talk about things with much more veracity, with much more authenticity if you have had that exposure. Okay, next slide, please. Yeah, right here in the UAE, we have, I'm not talking about the medical colleges, I'm talking about those that offer neuroscience. We have UAEU in Al Ain, we have the University of Sharjah, we have Khalifa, Zayed, NYU, and AUS. These are all universities that have neuroscience related research and quite a good program that would, if you are worried about safety and you're worried about not being mature enough to go away from home, there are options here as well. So you may want to look at opportunities here before setting out and going somewhere outside of your comfort zone. Next one, please. Like I said, because medicine and neuroscience and are really competitive, we can get like I have this year student going to Germany. Now, a student from an Indian curriculum school which has schooling in Germany where you will learn German language. Even in places where the whole course is taught in English, you need to pass 2 levels of German. Okay, so it makes sense for you to go and expose yourself to that culture and to that environment where you can learn the language easier than if you were to go into an institute over here. The other places that offer it are Netherlands, Sweden, and some of these universities have entrance exams which you can take from here. So just be mindful. Please read up beforehand. And should you need help, I'm always available. The last slide, I think. Next one. Yeah. So I have listed and neuroscience. You will, a lot is talked about AI in neuroscience. You can actually do a bachelor's degree in neuroscience with AI. AI is a tool that will enhance rather than deter your career path. Okay, you can go in for applied neuroscience. You can do neuros in many of the institutions in the UK, because this is from UK, from the UCAS that I've taken out. Source is not clear there, but yeah. So you can, many of these institutions offer industry experience, which means after your second year of study, 1 year can be spent in learning what it is all about. So we have neuroscience, health, neuroscience. Want to last slide, please, Zara. Yeah. So, what are some of the jobs? Even with a bachelor's degree, you can get into research, healthcare, pharmaceuticals, biotechnology. If you are in this field, if you are somebody who has a curious mind, who's persistent and has grit, you would be able to thrive in this, because for any kind of research, you need to be not just a problem solver, not just an analytical person, but somebody who has creative thinking and critical thinking, but also someone who has grit to stay the course. Because for research, any of the professors who spoke to us now could tell you that it takes a lot of tenacity to be able to stay through. And so, if all those qualities, please go ahead. And the very first fact that you have sat through a conference of this kind shows that you have it in you, right? Go ahead, get involved, get your feet wet, use the summer constructively. If you need help, there is a place. You can go into Unique Nation, UNIKNATION, Unique Nation. They arrange internships, and they may not be all medical professions, but whatever it is, when you get into the world of work, it enhances your understanding of what is out there. So I encourage each and every one of you to take up things like research and go and shadow a doctor, go and help in a, whether it's a home for children or old age or whatever it is, wherever you're going. If you're going somewhere out of town for holidays, please take up something which will enhance your skills, your empathetic spirit. Okay? Because those are traits, irrespective of the field you choose in the future, you will, it will decide whether this path is good for you or the other, right? So it's really imperative that you use your time not just watching Netflix, not just hanging out with friends. We need all of that, but we also need you to invest some time in yourself, and it's not for others. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your talk, Ms. Menon. That was very insightful. I think we all learned a lot here, and that's definitely an important toolkit and valuable, provided us with valuable insights for our future paths. We